Hare Krishna. Um, we are starting our discussion on the Bhagavad Gita verse today. Before beginning, we will offer our obeisances to Shri Nitai Gaur Chandra, Shri Vaman Devji, and Shri Prabhupada, and then we'll recite some prayers. Om Ajnantimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pachatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Today we will recite the verse number 17 from second chapter, the contents of Gita summarized. Second chapter is the summary study of Bhagavad Gita, as in English it is called as. So entire Bhagavad Gita, the essence, it is explained in second chapter. And whatever the verses we are studying now, those are the essential verses or the essence verses of the characteristics of soul, which explained by Supreme Lord Krishna to Arjuna and directly to us. So Bhagavad Gita 2.17. Avinashi tu tadviddi yena sarvam idam tatam vinasham avyayasya sya nakachets the entire body. You should know to be indestructible. No one is able to destroy that imperishable soul. So we'll discuss more about this verse. In this verse, Krishna is explaining Arjuna. See, from in Bhagavad Gita, first chapter Arjuna told everything. Like, yes, I can't fight. After Krishna started speaking, first Krishna scolds Arjuna. Like, how you got this importance? How you are important like this, and how you got this feeling that you are thinking that they are your relatives and you can't fight. So this is not suitable for a Kshatriya. So Krishna is telling Arjuna, yes, this is not at all suitable to a Kshatriya like you. So how you got such feeling? And then Krishna starts explaining. Then Arjuna told in 2.7, Karpanya Devasopata Swabhava, that I'm now completely surrender. And then Krishna, because Arjuna was feeling that they are their relatives and he can't fight with them because he has attachment. So Krishna is telling, okay, they are, if they kill, then what is the use of kingdom? For I'm fighting. So Krishna told, yes, no, it is, it is not like they are the bodies which you kill, but they are soul. The soul is eternal. So no one can kill the soul. So we have seen so many verses. And here from last verse 2.16, Krishna explicitly starts explaining about the characteristic of spirit soul. So now here also Krishna explains that the soul which pervades all over the body is avinashi. Avinashi means what? Imperishable, indestructible. And in the purport, Prabhupada gives so many nice references from all over the Upanishads, Mundaka Upanishada, Shvetoshvatar Upanishada, that how soul is eternal and how soul is anivashi. And so many people, when we see in the outside world, they feel like or they ask so many times, yeah, what is the soul? How you believe soul doesn't exist? So this is the part of Bhagavad Gita from 2.16 to 2.30. In that, all the shlokas from 2.11 only Krishna is trying to explain, but from 2.16 explicitly about the soul he is explaining, and till 2.30 he explains all the characteristics of soul, how soul is existing. And just by following this Bhagavad Gita principles, like from these 15 shlokas, in these 15 shlokas, if we understand, we will or we convince someone, then he can able to understand the existence of soul in the human body. Not only human body, every living entity has a existence of soul. Now we'll see in the purport how Prabhupada is explaining. I will share the yeah. So here in the purport, Prabhupada is explaining this verse more clearly explain the real nature of the soul, which is spread all over the body. So all over the body, what spread? Generally, people say, okay, all over the body, consciousness spreads. So Prabhupada is giving it ahead that anyone can understand what is spread all over the body. It is consciousness. Everyone is consciousness. Everyone is conscious of the pains and pleasure of the body in part or as a whole. This spreading of consciousness is limited within one's own body. The pains and pleasure of one body, embodiment of an individual soul. And the symptom of the soul's presence is perceived in individual consciousness. So here, consciousness pervades all over the body. So soul is not a consciousness, but consciousness is the symptom of presence of soul. Then this is one of the $1 million question, like factually asked question was, what is the size of soul? Why we can't see the soul? So we can't see the soul because size of soul is very, very small. This soul is described as 1/10,000th part of the upper portion of hair point in size. The Shvetashvatara Upanishad 5.9 confirms this. Balagra shatas bhagasya shatada kalpitasya cha bhago jivasa vidneya sachantataya kalpate. When the upper part of point of hair is divided into 100 parts, and again each of such part is further divided into 100 parts, each such part is the measurement of the dimension of spirit soul. Similarly, the same version is stated. Keshagra Shata Bhagasya Satamsha Sadram Shatmaka Jiva Sukshma Swarupoyam Sankhyatito Hichit Kana. There are innumerable particles of spiritual atoms which are measured as 1/10,000 of the upper portion of hair. Therefore, the individual particle of spirit soul is a spiritual atom smaller than the material atom. So 1/10,000 part of the tip of the hair. So when we see, like, this is very small. So atom smaller than the material atom, like tip of the hair is so small, and divide by, cut into 100 parts, then that one part again cut into 100 parts, then it is 10,000 part of the upper tip of the hair. So this tiny soul, it is smaller than the spiritual atom. Spirit soul is a spiritual atom which is smaller than the material atom. Sorry, and such atoms are innumerable. This very small spiritual spark is the basic principle of the material body, and the influence of such a spiritual spark is spread all over the body, as the influence of the active principle of some medicine spreads throughout the body. This current this current of the spirit soul is felt all over the body as consciousness, and that is the proof of the presence of the soul. Any layman can understand that the material body minus consciousness is a dead body, and this consciousness cannot be revived in the body by any means of material administration. Okay, so the existence of soul, very nicely Krishna is explaining what is the size of soul. Through the Upanishad, Prabhupada is giving the references also. Therefore, consciousness is not due to any amount of material combination, but to the spirit soul. In Mundaka Upanishad 3.1.9, the measurement of the atomic spirit soul is further explained. Eshu anur eta chetasya vidyato yasmin prana panchada samvivesha praneshchitam sarvam otam prajanam yasmin vishuddhe vibhavati esha atma. The soul is atomic in size and can be perceived by perfect intelligence. This atomic soul is floating in the 5 kinds of air. We know that 5 kinds of air are there in our body. Even Ayurveda explains this. Prana, apana, vyana, samana, udana. Which is situated and the atomic soul is situated within the heart. and spreads its influence all over the body of the embodied living entities. When the soul is purified from the contamination of the five kinds of material air, its spiritual influence is exhibited. So soul spreads all over the body through this five types of airs. The Hatha Yoga system is meant for controlling the five kinds of air, encircling the pure soul by different kinds of sitting postures, not for any material profit, but for liberation of the minute soul from the entanglement of the material atmosphere. So Hatha Yoga system is also related to this, like how the five kinds of soul, five kinds of air uh, can encircle the pure soul in different sitting postures. So the constitution of the atomic soul is admitted in all Vedic literatures, and it is also actually felt in the practical experience of the sane man. Only the insane man can think of this atomic soul as all-pervading Vishnu Tattva. The influence of the atomic soul can be spread all over a particular body. According to Mundaka Upanishad, this atomic soul is situated in the heart of every living entity, and because the measurement of atomic soul is beyond the power of appreciation of the material scientists, some of them assert foolishly that there is no soul. So they can't see the soul because modern science tells that what you see, that believe. But no, Shabda Praman is the best. Pratyaksha Praman, Anumam Praman fails in front of the Shabda Praman. So we have to believe on the words of scriptures, which are giving the existence of soul and clearly explains in many Upanishads. The individual atomic soul is definitely there in the heart along with the super soul, and thus all the energies of bodily movement are emanating from this part of the body. Even modern science also accepts that all energies are emanating from the heart. All energies to perform all the different works by different parts of the body. The energy, the instructions given by the heart, like main source of energy is the heart. And in that, what is the main source? That is soul. Because soul is present, therefore heart is working and everything is working. The modern science tells the corpuscles which carry the oxygen from the lungs gather energy from the soul. When the soul passes away from this position, the activity of blood generating fusion ceases. Medical science accepts the importance of the red corpuscles, but it cannot ascertain that the source of energy is the soul. Medical science, however, does admit that the heart is the seat of all energies of the body. Such atomic particles of the spirit world are compared to the sunshine molecules. In the sunshine, there are innumerable radiant molecules. Similarly, the fragmental part of the Supreme Lord are atomic sparks of the rays of the Supreme Lord, called by the name Prabha or superior energy. So the light which is emanating from the Lord, that Prabha, Lord's energy, that the fragmental part of the Supreme Lord are the atomic spark of the rays of the Supreme Lord. And that sunshine, such atomic particle which are spirit whole are compared to the sunshine molecules here. So whether one follows Vedic knowledge or modern science, one cannot deny the existence of spirit soul in the body. Prabhupada clearly explains that yes, whatever happens, soul is existing. Without soul, our spiritual life will not go. Because when we understand the existence of soul, we will work on that. Yes, we have to, that soul is eternal. Then we will not think about the whatever happening around us, the happiness and distress which is coming like summer and winter, because soul is eternal. So whatever fights which are happening with any of our relatives or our friends, so we will not bother, or we will not get affected because of that, because when we have the faith on the existence of soul, we will be totally focused that yes, soul is part and parcel of super soul, and which is connected to the super soul. When the soul is connected to the super soul, we will automatically advance in spiritual life, because we will think of that yes, that soul, I am a soul, I'm not this body, and this soul belongs to the Supreme Lord, and it is like it's my duty that to take this, like it's my duty in this human life, this soul, I should go back to God. So every day when we chant and when we this is the exact process which is given in the Kali Yuga, that's Harinama Kevalam. And Prabhupada explains in the last line that, and the science of soul is explicitly described in the Bhagavad Gita by the personality of Godhead himself. So here we can understand, yes, the process which is given by Srila Prabhupada, that chanting process, hearing, reading process, and this devotional service will take us back to Godhead. And when we understand the knowledge which is given in Bhagavad Gita by the Supreme Lord, we will surely go back to Godhead in this lifetime only. So that is our goal, and we should try, or we should be determined on that goal, and focus on our spiritual activities, which will lead us to the spiritual world, and try to preach to the others that yes, spiritual life is the way to live, because this is the life which we can give to the all, so that it will be eternal happiness. Prabhupada, every time Prabhupada used to tell, chant and be happy. So when we chant every day, when we read every day from Bhagavad Gita, our scriptures from Bhagavatam, we will feel happy, and we will feel connected to the Super Soul. So thank you very much. It's 7 o'clock. We'll stop here for today. Thank you very much for attending. Hare Krishna. We'll end, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.